Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me again with another subject that I came across the other day, yet again on Facebook. Remember, don't pass judgment on people. It's just what's on my mind. So here we go. I was reading Facebook the other day, and somebody said that, "Hey, I'm going to be a grandmother." It threw me off because I looked at this person's age, and they're 31 years old. All right. Now, a lot of us did have children when we were younger. My first child was born when I was 20 years old. So it's not, but I was an adult. Okay. I cannot imagine having my child coming to me telling me that you're going to be a grandfather and I'm 31 years old. That would absolutely crush me. Okay, if you try to do the math, you're going to be a 31-year-old grandparent. Possibly you had a kid when you were about 14, 15 years old, which would make your child 15, 16, maybe 17 years old. It's young to have a kid, and don't get me wrong, like I said, I don't pass judgment. I know a lot of people on my Facebook have had children when they were still children themselves, and in a sense I was still a child when I was 20 years old and had my first kid. However, it would be probably one of the most disturbing things to come and say I'm going to be a 31-year-old grandfather. I don't know about anybody else out there in the world, but I always want my kids to make better decisions than I did, and with being able to make better decisions, I just hope that I'm able to educate them better than I was educated. Not saying that I was educated incorrectly or there's something that was wrong with the way I was educated coming up, growing up where I grew up. However, we always can do better, and as good parents, we always want better for our children. With that being said, how do you feel about being a grandparent and you're still in your 30s? You're still young. You still go to the club. You still do the same thing you've been doing, having fun. But now you have to worry about you have a child who's about to have a child, which at times it becomes the grandparents, or the grandparents make it their responsibility to be the one doing the majority of the raising, especially when that child is not ready to become an adult and take on the adult responsibilities of being a parent. From day one, my life changed dramatically when I became a parent. I was 20 years old. I was out on my own. I've been out on my own since I turned 18. Since I graduated high school, everything that I've done pretty much on my own. But when I became a parent, that automatically became my number one priority. I didn't go out as often. I didn't do a lot of things. Hell, it took me about 6 or 7 years to actually buy something for myself because my kids always came first. It kind of pains me. It hurts a lot to see that you're 30 years old, you're 31 years old, you're about to be a grandpa, you're about to be a grandma. Like, I couldn't imagine it. I'm thinking I'm killing somebody if my son or if one of my daughters come telling me, you're going to be a grandparent. Somebody getting their throat snatched out. Like right then and there, somebody getting their throat snatched out, because that would just devastate me. For me personally, it would make me seem as if I failed at being a good parent. And most people who know me know that's the number one thing. I'm trying to be the best parent I can. Yes, I'm extremely strict. I have rules that a lot of people don't have rules with. My kids are in bed by 9 o'clock every night. Because it's structure. I'm a military-minded person. My kids need structure, and the kids these days need some sort of structure in extracurricular activities, positive extracurricular activities that will keep them out of situations where they might end up getting somebody pregnant or coming home pregnant. Not saying I'm going to shelter my children the entire life. I'm going to educate my children. I want my children to go to college, get good jobs, become positive members of society, and not have to worry about having a child at a young age, which effectively changes your life. Yes, you can go back to school after the kids get older and try to pursue bigger things. And I know a lot of people who have. I know people who become nurses or anything else after they had children, but they had to put all those plans on hold because they did have children. I want my children to be able to experience the world before they have to sit down and push the pause button on their life because now they have a child. If it comes down to it, if I would do what I have to do for my kid if they did come home saying that they were having a baby, because that's what a real parent does. They're not going to kick their child out on the street and saying, you had this baby, you can do this by yourself. I would be there for my children. I would be disappointed, I would be sad, it would hurt, because again, I think I failed as a parent. Now back to this other person. How does that happen? I mean, I know how it happens, but would that make you feel? Do you feel that you failed your child? Do you feel that you failed as a parent? I'm just saying, like, it's just difficult to grasp my mind around being a 30-year-old grandparent. I know a lot of people, and a lot of us 30-year-olds, y'all 30-year-olds, whatever, and still out in the clubs every weekend. All right, Thursdays is your favorite day of the week. So now your life is changing also, because not only do you have a young child, you have a grandchild coming into the picture. It just hurts my heart. It's about education. It's about making sure that our children make positive and correct decisions in regards to anything and everything that they're going to face. We can't be with them 24/7. I understand that. We can't make sure they stay on the straight and narrow. But if we instill those values, we instill those morals, we instill those lessons, then I think our children will make better decisions that will affect their lives for the rest of their lives, not just today or tomorrow. All right. 10 minutes of pleasure can give you 9 months of pain, and then 18 years of money coming out your pocket, 18 years of your freedom's gone. You are now a parent. You have to make decisions not only for yourself but for that child. When you have a child, your life changes completely. Okay, everything becomes about your child. And I don't think a lot of people, or a lot of these young people, are even knowing that or realizing that, because they're still out in the street doing whatever they want to do, partying, having sex, doing drugs. But at the end of the day, it's the parent's responsibility to actually be a parent and not try to be your child's best friend. Teach them wisely and teach them correctly to the best of your ability. Unfortunately, we are not our children's friends. We are their parents. And as parents, we have to act as parents and make sure that we're teaching our children the correct thing. I'm just saying, if I was in that position, I'd feel like a failure.